This is published by Vertigo, so it's nice to see that they're still in business.
And Batwing's not in the preview, so I'm going to say it's canceled. You heard it here
Josh
last.
has declared that Batwing has been canceled. And then there's like some freaky old lady who shows her lady parts.
Into the big boy from Frisch's.
Another poor choice of words.
All right, first up, fulfilling a request from someone in the comments. Let's talk about a Dark Horse book. Well, Dark Horse section's bigger than I thought it was. They're still doing stuff. We're here. Mr. X Raised #1. This is from Mr. X, who's a series running in the 90s. It's written by Dean Motter. Actually, it's written and drawn by Dean Motter. And I like Mr. X, and I actually really love the cover of this book, which has Mr. X with the menorah, and it looks like a very fun noir kind of Christmassy book. But I trust Dean Motter implicitly. Electropolis and Terminal City were wonderful, wonderful books, and he doesn't work a lot anymore because he does writing and art. It tends to take forever for something to come out. So I'm thrilled whenever he gets something on the page. So, Mr. X Raised #1 for me, please.
I can't believe Josh went past this, but The Goon, Once Upon a Hard Time, #1 of 4 by Eric Powell. And I think the reason that maybe Josh didn't talk about it is because we talked about The Goon many times before, but you're not listening. So maybe it's just us. Maybe we just have the twisted sense of humor that Eric Powell has and find his poop and boob jokes funny, but the Goon is such a cool character, and I really hope they get that movie off the ground one of these days.
Have they ever finished the animated short? Or whatever it was
I don't
supposed to be?
think so. I helped kickstart that thing, so they better get it done. The Goon is a great creator-owned book over at Dark Horse, and it's so easy to just pick up Volume 1 or Volume 0. I don't remember.
It doesn't matter what volume it is.
It doesn't matter what volume you pick it up.
Yeah.
It's got humor, it's got horror, scary stuff, it's got action and mob stuff and supernatural elements and just all kinds of good stuff. But this is supposed to be, I kind of read the solicitation as this may be the beginning of the end for the Goon. At least for a while. Powell may take a break and do something else. Or I could be way off and I'm completely wrong. But the status quo for the Goon, at least, is supposed to change from this. And it's a miniseries again, #1 of 4, written and drawn by Eric Powell. One of the best things that Dark Horse publishes, easily. I'm still in Dark Horse land.
Okay, then you go again.
All right, 2 other quick things to mention. 8, #1, by Raphael Albuquerque. This is written and drawn by Albuquerque with a writing assist by Mike Johnson. This is 8 spelled EI, the number 8, GHT. So I don't know how you do that. Or maybe it's EI, the number 8, HT. And it involves time travel, and that's all you need to know. He's a chrononaut, and it's written and drawn by Raphael Albuquerque, who I'm a big fan of from American Vampire, so I will be checking it out. Also, not necessarily for me, probably not for Josh, but The Art of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe hardcover.
So cool.
This is 320 pages. It's a 320-page hardcover with concept sketches, prototype pictures, restored artwork, interviews. If you're a He-Man fan, this is a must-buy. Published by Dark Horse, coming out in February. And again, we'll probably order 1 for the store, but if you know you want this, pre-order it, please, so that we make sure we have it for you.
So that was in
That's
Dark
it for
Horse
Dark
land?
Horse, yes.
All right. How much do you have in DC?
3?
Okay, why don't you go first, because I'm towards the end of DC land.
Okay. First off, maybe the most important thing to know about the DC section this month is that their variant covers for the month are all featuring Harley Quinn. So what do when Harley Quinn is one of your best-selling characters? You put her on every cover that is being published that month with the hopes that people buy them. So again, variant covers are tricky for retailers because this is not a quantity-based variant. We can order as many of the Harley Quinn variants as we want. But
the trick is ordering as many of the Harley Quinn variants as you want.
That's correct, and so that we don't get stuck with a bunch of them, 6 months from now, or even 3 months from now. So there is a Harley Quinn variant for virtually every New 52 title in the catalog. So we're going to put together some sort of visual aid that we'll have available in the store, like we did for the Darwin Cook variants that only 3 of you looked at. And that will make it easier for you to say, yes, I want this one, this one, this one, this one, or yes, I want all 48 of them, or however many there are. So
I don't think it's 48. I think
I don't know, it's
they've been doing like
36.
35, 36.
Harley Quinn variant covers all month long in February. Okay, you're up, because I'm beyond that.
Just a sort of a quick hit that ties into this week's stuff. Justice League 3000 number 14, still featuring blue and gold. We've also got Fire and Ice, the Injustice League, Etrigan the Demon. I cannot state enough, if you're a classic New 50 or a classic DC fan, this is one of the books you want to be reading. It's not your Justice League, but a lot of the other stuff going on, a lot of the creative team is people you know and respect, and it's fun.
Okay, you want to talk about the next one?
I will talk about
And
the
I'll
next
close
one.
out the DC
We've
section.
got the long-awaited Suiciders number 1. This is a book written and drawn by the inimitable Lee Bermejo, who you may remember from writing and drawing Batman Noel, which is one of our favorite Batman kind of self-contained graphic novels here, and also doing art on the Azzarello-penned Joker and Luthor series. Is there another one, or is it just those two?
I believe it's just those two. But Azzarello's artwork is some of the best in comics.
You mean Bermejo's?
That's
Azzarello
what I meant to
writes
say.
the
Yes.
words.
No, Azzarello's artwork. Have you seen his stick people?
I
They're
have.
amazing. Lee Bermejo's artwork is jaw-dropping. If you've never picked up and looked at Batman Noel, first off, what's wrong with you? But the artwork is phenomenal. I gave that to two of my friends who normally don't read comics, and they were just blown away by the artwork. So I don't know much about what the story's going to be about.
Yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic. Basically, it's Escape from New York meets The Running Man. California finally falls off, and they decide to leave it to their own devices, and Hollywood does what Hollywood does best and exploits people. So Hollywood basically becomes a blood sport where people are fighting to the death and hunting each other down and stuff, and it just sounds awesome. And it'll be pretty with Bermejo's art. So
Yes. Finally, in the DC Comics section, at the tail end of it, a book tailor-made for me, Superman Batman Michael Turner Gallery Edition.
Yeah.
Again, DC has stolen a play from IDW with their artist editions, and they're doing gallery editions now, which are reproductions of the original art for certain books. And this is recreating Superman Batman number 8 through 13, which is the Supergirl storyline, which reintroduced Supergirl to the DC universe prior to the New 52, of course, and is just amazingly cool looking. I cannot wait to have this book in my hands. It also includes covers that Turner did for Justice League and Flash and Identity Crisis.
Oh, cool.
So full-size scans of the original artwork of the dearly departed Michael Turner. So I'm going to be picking that up.
Yes. If you are, like me, a Neil Gaiman acolyte and are concerned that someday you may have to play Jet Death in a chess match to save your life, you may be interested in the Sandman chess set. This just looks incredibly cool. Kind of a Marvel effect look. Marble, not Marvel. Effect look on them. You've got all of the Endless as your main players, and you've got Matthew the Raven as a rook. The same set's in black and white. And it just looks very classy and elegant, and it reminds me of all of the Endless have their gallery. They go and stand in the gallery and then talk to each other by touching the symbols. And seeing them all there in a row reminds me of that. And as a Sandman fan, it's cool. It's expensive, but it looks awesome.
Cool, definitely order that from us. It's actually on our website. If you're interested, you can order the Sandman chess set. Those of you that want to support the show and you don't live in this area, order the Sandman chess set at alteregocomics.com. Thank you. I'm into IDW, so if
I'm in IDW as well.
Okay. Not a lot. IDW is doing a lot with licensed properties right now, and a lot of them are things that are not new, that are not worth talking about. But one of the new ones, I mean, it doesn't mean they're good. I'm all fired up for Star Trek Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Orphan Black, number 1, is coming from IDW. I have not watched Orphan Black. I've had many people say, watch Orphan Black. It has something to do with cloning and sci-fi, and that's all I know. But the comic series is being supervised or plotted by writers from the show with an assist from an actual comic book writer whose name I don't have in front of me. But Orphan Black is coming in February to comics, so if you're a fan of the show, get signed up for the series.
Also from IDW, we've got a new book called Dave, spelled with a 4 instead of an A.
So we've got 8 and Dave, both with numbers in their titles.
This is a book about where the robots have taken over the world and about what happens next. The robots have crappy lives just like ours. They go to work and watch TV, and it just looks like a lot of fun, very whimsical. It actually tricked me for a moment because it has that Staples cover, and I wanted it to be. I mean, I don't want her to stop doing Saga, but I wanted it to be a Fiona Staples book. But it just looks fun and kind of offbeat stuff you don't usually see from the bigger publishers.
I will remain silent now as Josh continues to look at his list.
177. I'm sure this is on your list. The Lock and Key Master Edition?
I did not, but I think I blew through it.
Oh, God. If there was ever a book that deserves to look all cool and leather-bound and sit on your shelf in a nice hardcover,
Yeah.
Lock and Key is it.
Goodbye, single-volume hardcovers. I'm looking at you over there. You will be gone. Except for the one I got signed at San Diego Comic-Con. I will keep you.
You can stay.
Volume 5. You can stay.
But this is the Master Edition. It collects the first 2 trades in one oversized hardcover. And it looks very cool. It's got some additional material that wasn't in the original collected editions. And if you're a Lock and Key fan, it's a no-brainer.
Thanks for bringing that to my attention.
I'm sorry.
$50 poorer.
But it looks awesome. That's my last in IDW.
Alright, Image Comics. Spawn Resurrection #1 by Brian Wood and John Boy from the Waltons. No, I believe his name is John Boy Myers, so I don't know why he's going by one name now, but it's John Boy. So this is the reintroduction of Al Simmons as Spawn. We don't know where he's been, we don't know what he's up to, but he's back, and Spawn fans take note. Brian Wood is a very talented writer. Dare I say, I won't say it. But, even I might check this out. I haven't read Spawn.
You were going to say he's more capable than Todd McFarlane, weren't you?
Maybe.
I'm more capable than Todd McFarlane.
Oh.
When it comes to writing, Todd McFarlane's an artist. I don't know why anyone lets him write anything. Because he owns the company. That's
Take it
why.
easy.
I
Take
said
it easy. Okay, we don't want to make Todd McFarlane angry. He may come to the shop someday.
He's too busy being sued by people to come to the shop.
I think those lawsuits are all over. Now he's playing with toys and baseballs and other stuff. Spawn Resurrection #1. A good time to, if you've always been kind of curious about Spawn, or if you only know Spawn from the 1990s, this might be a good chance for you to come back and see what's happening, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what's going on with Al Simmons.
This one's just a very obvious one, but we've also got coming out in this previews Fade Out Volume 1 from Ed Brubaker with art by Sean Phillips. We both rave about this series. Ed Brubaker can do no wrong when it comes to these noir books with Sean Phillips, and this is going to be a great chance for you to check it out for, what, $10? I'm sorry, $15 for the first 6 issues. Great deal.
I wonder if the back matter will be in there.
No, it won't. So if you want that,
Does it
you should buy the
specifically say
singles.
that?
No, but they've always assumed that.
That's, again, much like Sex Criminals and many Image books, they put a lot of thought and time and effort into the stuff that shows up at the end of the comic, and the single issues are the way to go on Fade Out. And that's not to take away from the story in general, but those stories of Hollywood's past are priceless.
It doesn't say how many issues are in it, but based on the page numbers, I don't think the back matter can be in it. Because that first
and usually
issue
they
was
don't.
oversized.
Yeah, people like Brubaker and Fraction and Brian K. Vaughan, they specifically put that stuff into the single issues to get people to check out the single issues. Nameless #1. I know nothing about this book, but I'm telling you about it because it's written by Grant Morrison with artwork by Chris Burnham. So this is Morrison's first Image book in
A while.
Did he do Happy?
Yeah.
That
was that Image?
That was Image.
Okay.
Yeah. So never
that was
mind.
still 2 years ago?
Yeah. Well, and this looks like it's a different type of book. It's Happy was very much I don't know. Felt like The Boys to me, probably because it was drawn by Derek Robertson. But anyway, a new Grant Morrison creator-owned book, Nameless, coming out from Image in February. Sign up for it if you're a Grant Morrison fan.
You got anything else in Image?
I have nothing else, period.
Oh, wow. You just don't even read the bag of
And now
books.
this is Josh's show. Thanks for watching.
Over from Action Lab Entertainment, who does great stuff for all ages, including Princeless. They've got a trade coming out of Double Jumpers. This was a very much overlooked miniseries about 2 years ago. I believe it was 4 issues. It's a bunch of guys who have a guild in World of Warcraft or a similar type role-playing game online, and somehow their characters get ejected into their bodies and they get sucked into the fantasy world. which is not an unusual thing. The characters getting sucked in the fantasy world. The inversion is the cool part because while you have them, the guy who in real life is all chunky and stumbling and awkward, trying to be a rogue in a fantasy world, and then you've also got dwarfen people running around in Los Angeles and going to Las Vegas and causing trouble, and it was just a great geeky little game-related book that not a lot of people read. It's going to be out in trade, and you should check it out if you like video games or fantasy or beards, whatever you like.
You said Double Jumpers. I thought it was a book about jump rope.
Yes, Double Dutch is what that book is. Yes.
Okay, Dutch oven. What? No,
yes, Dutch oven. That's a different thing. All right, another quick hit. I don't know about the legality of this, but I love this shirt from Antarctic Press. It has the traditional Shazam logo and then says "Say my name" across the top. And I think that's awesome.
Their shirts are incredibly cool, and I own several of them. My Detroit Lion-O's shirt was an Antarctic Press. The Jawas shirt that turns out is too small for me, and I gave to one of my kids. Apparently large isn't universal. I don't know. But definitely look through when you get previews, the Antarctic Press section has one shirt in it every month, and it's usually pretty darn cool.
Yeah, and if you, even more than the regular comics, these shirts are made to what they sell. So, usually by the time a shirt is out, we can't get any more copies of it. So if you know you want it, pre-order it.
Yes.
Or you're going to miss out. Just a quick hit for Bongo Comics, making Simpsons and Futurama. Both these issues look super awesome this month. The Simpsons issue is 3 different tales, and they're all comic book or superhero movie related. So you've got the Simpsons as the Guardians of the Galaxy in one of the stories, and things of that nature. And Futurama has Fry crossing into different realities. Based on the cover, I would say that is the Toy Story universe, the Disney universe, the Simpsons universe, the Marvel Comics universe, and the My Little Pony universe.
What's not to
I will
love?
pay $3 for that every day.
I would pay $30 for that.
From Dynamite, we've got the new series of another Dresden Files mini-series starting. These are some of my favorite fantasy books by Jim Butcher, and the comics are great for 2 reasons. The first is they're actually scripted. I'm sorry, not scripted. You get a story from Jim Butcher that's then scripted by someone else into the comic format. So you've got the original creator. These are sort of in continuity. It's part of his universe. And the other great thing is these aren't part of the novels. They always tell you exactly where they fall. Before this one happens right after White Knight, and it gives you new stuff in Harry's continuity that you've not seen before. Occasionally you'll get things they'll reference, like they'll have a throwaway reference to something he did later, and they'll flesh it back out here. But just great urban fantasy, probably the best current urban fantasy series. See, and this is what's great about previews. It's so deep. You can just keep going. It's just goes on forever. Next up is a new printing of WYSIWYG. This is from Ed Piskor. This is a story that's not adapted from a true story, but it is definitely in the spirit of true life stories about hackers and the early phone freaks, Captain Crunch and that sort of stuff. So if you're a fan of the history of computers and hacking, it's a great read.
You're a fan of the movie Hackers starring Angelina
The movie
Jolie.
Hackers, the TV movie Pirates of Silicon Valley, which I still maintain is Noah Wile's best performance ever. WYSIWYG is a great fun.
Pirates of the Caribbean 6, Pirates of Silicon Valley.
I'd watch it.
Yes.
Johnny, what they unearth Jack Sparrow from like a cyber tomb or something?
Yeah.
And
No, Keith Richards would be.
Keith Richards, yes, because he's just going to live forever, Captain Teague. Just got 2 other notes.
And we're back to WYSIWYG.
Says it's on oh, sorry, I had the wrong page down for WYSIWYG. They are doing, Top Shelf Productions, who's best known for doing kind of more independent indie feeling stuff and doing really nice collected editions, is doing an all-in-one version of Pinocchio Vampire Slayer. This is a book that we both really enjoyed. It originally came out in small kind of digesty form. I believe there's 3 or 4 of them. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Pinocchio kills vampires, which is just fun.
Never-ending supply of steaks.
Yes, and this collects all of them in one volume for $25. 528 pages. I want one. And lastly, and not surprisingly to anyone who knows me, deep in the bowels of the merchandise section of the previews, which is a dangerous place to go sometimes, we have a Firefly Serenity plush. And I need that in my life.
He needs to sleep with it.
Sometimes at night, I get a little scared. I just need to have
I'm a
a
leaf on the
plush.
wind. I'm a leaf on the wind.
Yes. Did you say this one features sound?
I think it does.
Okay.
Did it say electronic?
No. Maybe this is the
Look,
one.
it lights up though, right?
No, I think that's just the way it's colored.
Blah 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 blah.
I don't care. It looks awesome.
Yes, it is not electronic. I'm sorry.
But I love me some Firefly, and now I can give this to
Everyone.
little children. Yes, everyone on my Christmas list this year.
Now we can go to Chuck E.
next year,
Cheese
these are now.
and give them
Did
to
you
little
see
children.
the little the shuttles?
Yeah.
Go pop out, and you have little plush
I
shuttles.
didn't see that. I didn't see that pop out. But
Yeah, they come out.
previews.
Firefly's
The previews
awesome.
catalog is so cool. And just a reminder, starting in January, it drops in price to $3.99. So for the cost of a comic book, you get 500 plus pages of stuff that you can spend your money on.
Plus the whole Marvel preview is free for another 100 pages.
Yeah, which is
or
another
so.
100 pages. So it's huge. So much cool stuff to go through. And that's just scratching the surface, barely scratching the surface. And sometimes we forget about the stuff that's after the major publishers. A lot of the stuff Josh talked about is super cool, but it's also very niche.
Niche, right.
So, but it's designed for people like us. So, previews. Orders are due December 19th, 20th, whatever the last Friday of December is. I'm sorry, not the last Friday. The Friday before Christmas.
Right.
You want to get your orders into your local retailers so that they can input them into their computers and get them uploaded to the home office in time.
And remember, the way previews works, everything we've talked about today is in the new catalog, which means that it'll mostly start coming out in February for your single comics.
Yep. Previews list things 2 months in advance. Also, final note here, for those of you that are local, you've probably heard about this already, but it bears repeating. Tuesday, December 9th, from 5:30 until 7, we will be playing host to Austin St. John, the original Red Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Jason Lee Scott, not to be confused with Jason Scott Lee, the actor, but Jason Lee Scott was his character name, and he was the first leader of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I don't know why you felt the need to say the Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like he's the Red Ranger from Pygmalion?
The Red Ranger from
My Fair
Jellystone
Lady.
Park?
Yeah.
The Red Ranger from, I don't know, some army movie? The Red Ranger from
Red Ranger from John Wayne's Green
And then he was
Berets.
like the Gold Zeo Ranger, or the Gold Ranger from Power Rangers Zeo. There are lots of Power Rangers series, and this guy, Austin St. John, has appeared in almost or just over 100 episodes of the Power Rangers. He is going to be here in Little Old Lima, Ohio on a top secret mission and has agreed to swing by the shop from 5:30 until 7 to do charity photo ops. So this is going to cost you $20. The money is all going to charity. It's staying local here with Harvest for the Hungry, but also we're giving some of it to Austin's autism charity that he works with. And you bring your cell phone or bring your camera, and one of our crack alter ego staff members will, or one of our alter ego staff members on crack will take your picture with Austin. You have a chance to talk with him, and he's going to be here only for an hour and a half. So Tuesday, December 9th from 5:30 until 7. I think it's going to be super awesome, and hopefully what he's in town for will pan out, and then we can talk more about that. So hope to see you there. Thanks for sitting through all of our rambling here, catching up on a couple weeks and diving into previews, and keep your feedback coming, your comments coming, your emails. Keep on keeping on. What's that guy say from previews? Keep the faith, keep reading comics.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that because another guy who does comics interviews says that. Anyway, that's enough. Gotta go. See you next time.